Well, good evening, and welcome to the Sports Empire Network. This is your boy Freddie Henderson, joined by my brother Gene, Wire to Wire Gene, and this is another episode of Freddie Facts. What's going on, Gene? How are you doing?
What's popping? I think you need a producer for your show, bro. You be like not getting the cutoff times on the intro.
Yeah, hey,
I'm just messing with you.
that's in the making. That's in the making. But like I said, this is Freddie Facts. This is where I spit out nothing but the facts. You can shake your head all you want. You gonna say something, and I'm gonna give you some facts tonight, Gene. You guarantee you that.
Freddie Fiction, brother. Freddie Fiction. That's my name for you, Freddie Fiction.
Nah, I got you. I just want to give out a huge shout out to Dylan Beeks. He will be representing the Sports Empire Network on the marketing side and helping us continue our growth into the goal that we set aside that we want to reach. So shout out to him. But let's get to it. Let's have fun. First topic, now that the NBA Finals is out the way, there are so many rumors, so many trades, a lot of things about to go on these next couple of weeks. It don't help that we have the NBA draft next week. So we're about to hear a whole bunch of stuff. There's going to be a lot of smoke screens. There's going to be a lot of truth. But that's why you have us to break it down. Let's go over Bradley Beal. We've all been crying for the last couple of years. Do Bradley Beal want to win? Why do he stay in Washington? Why won't he request out of there? Even though he got the Supermax last year. Is it all about the money? We've heard people say all that. But I really believe this is the offseason that we can finally see Bradley Beal be on the move. Gene, where would you like to see Bradley Beal end up?
First of all, Bradley Beal's a damn genius. Y'all can say whatever you want to say about Bradley Beal. He got the Supermax by re-signing with Washington. And 1 year into the deal, he has a full no trade clause. So he's basically a free agent. He gets to control where he goes. And he gets to carry over that Supermax contract. That's called genius, sir. Genius. Talk all you want about Bradley Beal, but the truth is Bradley Beal got that bag and he's going to be playing for a contender. Now, you asked where I wanted to see him, not where I think he's going to go. Would you like me to answer where I want to see him?
Yeah.
Where I want to see him is somewhere in the West Coast. Get him out of my conference. No, but I think if I'm being honest with myself, all three teams I think he would go to would all be in the Eastern Conference. I think the best fit is Milwaukee. I think he's a perfect fit with Giannis. You talking about a guy that is going to shoot the lights out. Giannis is going to get you a lot of open shots. Where I think he'll end up is with Jason Tatum in Boston. I think that's where he'll be at. And I think that him and Jason Tatum have wanted to play together for years. I think the worst kept secret in the NBA is that Jaylen Brown does not want to be a Celtic anymore. And I think Bradley Beal will be that replacement. I think he's a better replacement, though. Not saying he's a better player than Jaylen Brown, but he's a better fit for that team.
What's up, Coach Dante? How are you doing?
What up, y'all?
Not much. I'm gonna be honest with y'all where I think Bradley Beal should go. Bradley Beal should really go to the New York Knicks. If you're talking about a team in basketball that needs another guy, needs a guy that's going to take them to that next level, it's Bradley Beal. I mean, this Julius Randle experiment, it got you back relevant, okay? Let's just be honest. It got them back relevant. But we're talking about a guy that you can give the ball in their hand and you can score. Bradley Beal is one of the best scorers in basketball. This is a guy that's put up a lot of points, and when he's down to the Washington Wizards, this is a guy that is, he's not afraid. He comes in the clutch. This is that type of guy. He's that type of guy. He's legit, and he's that type of dude. But I believe him at the Madison Square Garden that he will be electrifying. He's a guy. I don't know if you keep R.J. Barrett. Probably you start building around them two. And then, your future's bright. Where would you like to see him, Coach?
Miami. I think Miami will be a good personal fit for Bradley Beal. They can already get that with Jimmy Butler and Bam Malone. And, the role players that they have. They came proving in the finals that they weren't good enough. The finals showed hey, we wasn't good enough to win the finals, but also I think they needed one more piece. They also needed one more. They told you they needed one more piece outside of Jimmy Butler. Bam is your third best player at best. Bam can only be your third best player at best. So I think him filling up that two guard spot would definitely help them and would definitely help them possibly win a championship. I still think they need a point guard as well. I do still think they need a true point guard because I think Gabe Vincent is a two. I think he's a shooting guard, but Bam Adebayo will add a lot of shooting. He would add a lot of scoring. He would take a lot of pressure off Jimmy Butler, and Bam can just settle in the role of playing that three, being that third scorer for them. So I think Bradley Beal is a spot that as a team that can land in Miami, and that's good. That's good. He's a genius because again, he's got leverage of where he wants to go. He also has the leverage where he want to go. So if he's end up picking Miami, I think it will be a good spot. Boston will also be a good spot for him. You know, when if they don't want to pay Jaylen Brown, they can. That would be a serviceable spot for Bradley Beal. But my pick is Miami, though.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, make sure you follow us, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna tell you the only reason why I don't want to see Bradley Beal in a Miami Heat uniform is because they need a point guard. They need a guy that can create separation. You need a guy that can run the pick and roll with Bam Adebayo. They need a guy that preferably to shoot the ball. I prefer Damian Lillard in the Miami Heat versus Bradley Beal. I love Gene. I did with the Boston Celtics, but Gene, I have to ask you a question. Are you willing to trade Jaylen Brown for Bradley Beal, or you have another trade package in mind? Because the reason why I say that
you're not going to have to trade anything for Bradley Beal. His contract is worth like the trade package. You're going to see what happens with Bradley Beal. The trade package is going to be you take our contract, you get rid of this max contract. You're not going to trade anything for him. Like Derek White. I mean, that's literally what you're going to have to give up to get Bradley Beal. It's not going to be much. You asked about my question with Boston, but when I heard you say New York, that's a weird spot. Jalen Brunson just signed there, undersized guard that controls the ball, and you're going to put another undersized guard that doesn't play defense on that team. That's a bad look. I just don't think that makes the Knicks that much better. I get it. You want to see him in Madison Square Garden, but I think you already have Josh Hart there. You have Emmanuel Quigley. You have a lot of guys that can already play the game of basketball in the backcourt. I think where the New York Knicks need the most help is in the front court, replacing Julius Randle with a wing. Jaylen Brown would be a perfect spot for New York. I don't think he goes there, but my point being is I think the trade package involves a sign and trade with Jaylen Brown, sending him somewhere else, and then Bradley Beal getting off the books and Washington recouping picks and money. That's all they'll get. I don't think they'll get anything. I think they want to release the contract and rebuild.
What do you guys think about this comment right here? It says Bradley Beal and the Kings are heating up. He's got that no trade clause, and the rumor has it that he'll waive it for Sacramento. Beal in Sacramento is low-key scary. And I will say this. They was the best offensive team in basketball last year. You add a Bradley Beal, he will not hurt you. If anything, he's another guy that you can, when it's crunch time and you can get the ball in his hand, he can relieve pressure off De'Aaron Fox. It makes things a lot easier for Sabonis. Then you still have Malik Monk, depending on who they have to trade for him. But still, that will be a scary team in the West, and that will guarantee that they're not going anywhere. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Sacramento?
Yeah.
You're basically replacing Kevin Huerter with him, so it's definitely an upgrade. I just really love Davion Mitchell coming in and playing that two-guard role for them with De'Aaron Fox on the court because he gives you that defensive presence that you need so Fox can play offense. I just feel like it's unbalanced, if I'm being completely honest with you. You're going to have to outscore people every night. We watched that happen with the Brooklyn Nets, where the Brooklyn Nets had Harden, Kyrie, KD, and they lost. And one of the big reasons they lost is because every night they had to score 135, 140 points to win the game. Defense is still part of basketball. It might not be cute. It might not be sexy on the box score, but off night, which is the greatest nickname in basketball, off night, Davion Mitchell is somebody that I really think is a great fit for Sacramento. And if you bring Bradley Beal in, you're essentially limiting or cutting out his minutes.
I got you. Coach, did you want to say anything? One last thing before we move on to the next topic.
Nah, like I say, I like what Gene said. I'm not sure if I'm ready to mess up what Sacramento has. Right now. I'm not sure I'm really willing to kind of do that. I really for the team to stay where it is. I think they're an upcoming team. But I still have my doubts on them for next year. I just do want to see them go into next year and have another year before I be sold on them. But I'm not willing to mess up that core right now.
All right, cool. So we seen that the Arizona Cardinals, released DeAndre Hopkins a few weeks ago, and right now it's rumored that he can end up being a New England Patriot. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't like the move. I don't like it at all. I understand that you might have your old offensive coordinator. I understand all of that. But DeAndre Hopkins, we want to see you when the games matter. We want to see you on the big stage. Like, to me, this shows that money is more important. Like, what's more important to DeAndre Hopkins right now?
I mean, did you believe him when he told you that he wanted to go to a winning franchise over money? I loved when he released his list of teams and quarterbacks he'd like to play for. He like Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. No shit. But none of them have money. So, like, you can't go to those. You have to make a choice for DeAndre Hopkins, right? You can go to a team that is decent and you can make them good. And that's what he's talking about with New England. Kyle just said New York. Even Houston with the young quarterback there. Or you can go to a team that's very good and he can compete, but you're not going to get paid. Kansas City, Buffalo, Philadelphia. A lot of those teams, they don't have no cap space to sign a DeAndre Hopkins. And DeAndre Hopkins, as much as he talks about, I want to go to a winning culture and I want to go to a winning team, he's not sacrificing that bag. And I wouldn't either. If I play in the NFL, I have a very limited shelf life. I'm trying to set myself up for the rest of my career. If I fall into the right situation, that's awesome. I think the best landing spot for him is still Cleveland. He can compete. He can win. He can go back with his old quarterback. And he'd have a serviceable number 2 in Amari Cooper. And they could be competitive. I think that's what he needs to do is find a middle of the road team like the Cleveland Browns and latch on to something like that. But he's not going to Kansas City, Buffalo, Philadelphia. Just get that out of your head. He's not taking $5 million. It's not going to happen.
I understand that, and I love that. I love the idea of him going to Cleveland. Because Cleveland to me is if he goes to Cleveland, that makes things a lot interesting. That really do. Because I mean, we know they still have their defense, they still have the run game, and like you said, Amari Cooper, he's no slouch as a number 2 option.
No,
not at all. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins can still play football. I mean, it's not like he's just a scrub. But I'm just saying, like, bro, you played with how many bad quarterbacks in your career? Coach Dante can tell you. I mean, how many times, and you make those guys look better than what they really are. So, I mean, to me, I don't know. I guess I think different. I guess my thoughts could be wrong. I would think you're a veteran, that you be, because we've seen veterans in the past willing to take less money to be in a winning situation. Because DeAndre Hopkins' name, when you speak of him and the all-time greats, his name is up there. But what's going to separate them is the jury. I mean, just being honest. And jury, I don't want to hear nothing about your quarterback because you're still trying to figure out who your quarterback is down there in Tennessee. I'm just saying, not throwing those shots, just being honest. Coach Dante, do you love the move of DeAndre Hopkins going to the Patriots, or would you want to see him somewhere else?
I would really like, I've been saying this ever since he came out with this. I would really like to see him go somewhere where he can have an opportunity to win a championship. I think DeAndre Hopkins, when he first came back, you wouldn't that dude played like one of the top premier receivers in the league when he came back. When he came back off that 6-game suspension, the man still finished with over damn near 800 yards, almost 800 yards. He still almost finished close to that. But I wanted to see him go compete. And when you brought up the quarterbacks, I don't want to mention it was in Houston because the only actually real quarterback that he had was Deshaun Watson. Even after he left, Deshaun Watson was still on another level. He was still really, really, really good. So I think the best thing for him right now, I love that Cleveland. He's also got chemistry with Watson. Watson coming on his second year off suspension, full off season. Mari Cooper had over 1,000 yards. That Cleveland defense looks good as well with Garrett, Miles Garrett, and you also have Denzel Ward as a cornerback who's one of the top corners of the league. Also, you got David Njoku. You got that running game too. So that's going to make that offense a little bit more scary. And the AFC North is going to be something to watch this year with Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson coming back. You have Watson. That AFC North is going to be scary. Borderline, hey, Cleveland, don't be surprised, man. Don't be surprised.
Most definitely. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, I definitely agree. We have Doug. We have Steve. Steven here left a comment. He said if Hopkins goes to Detroit, Lion fans will go nuts. Hey, Steve, I'll be honest with you. You know, Detroit might not be that bad of an option. They have a really bright future down there. They have a lot of great offensive weapons, and they're definitely trending in the right.
Needs though.
No, I'm not saying that's what they need, but I'm saying they want to be a bad. Hey, we got DeAndre Hopkins. He's
So would
definitely
you rather
going
catch balls from Jared Goff or Mac Jones? What's the difference?
I'm just saying all around. I'm just saying all around.
I'm just trying to figure out what the difference is between Jared Goff and Mac Jones. If you want to call it like it is, they already have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They already have Jamison Williams, who's fully recovered from the ACL tear. Like, I don't think that's a good landing spot for him. It's almost like a Freddie thing. Like everyone's going to the Lakers. Like Detroit fans are like, oh, the Detroit Lions are going to get him. Like it's not a real thing, right? It's a bad look for Detroit. I don't think that's a good. I think Detroit needs to work on their defense more. They did that in the draft. They showed you that. They have a run game. They need to work on their defense more. That's what they need to do.
Well, you know me. I want all the stars. Load it up, baby. Load it up. Yes, Gene, I want it all.
I mean, you could want it all you want, but Amon-Ra St. Brown did not get released.
And Doug said it won't be a championship in New England for him. He's going to be the highest bidder. He's going to the highest bidder. Doug definitely agree on that. So, Doug, you guys can definitely need him. You guys trying to figure out who y'all number one going to be is for sure. I'm just being honest. The Cowboys trying to figure out who their number one option is going to be. But let's bring it back to the NBA. Let's bring it, to the champions, the 2023 champions, Denver Nuggets. I heard a lot of crazy things. I heard Jay Williams from ESPN say that the time that Jokic's career is over, he will have a better career than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm sorry. I think that's just crazy. I think that's laughable. And a lot of times, a lot of people say things in the heat of the moment. And this is no shot at Nikola Jokic. I think Nikola Jokic is a great athlete. He is one of our best superstars in the game. He's probably the best player in the game right now, especially after we just seen what he just did. But it is laughable. It is laughable how quick we be ready to move guys up. I mean, yes, he won 2 MVPs.
I knew this would be. I don't know why I even came on this show. I knew this would be a defend the Lakers. Like, I knew this would be something like this.
You disagree with me?
Yes, I disagree with you. I'm not saying that you can say he'll be better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the end of his career, but you can project that 100%. The guy has 2 MVPs, could have won a third this year. He has a finals MVP, and is on a team that's perfectly built around him. You can't project him winning 2 more MVPs and 2 more championships in the next 4 years?
No.
Why? He could have won 3. already. Why can't you project that?
Are you
Is he the best player? Who's going to be the odds-on favorite to win the MVP this year, Freddie?
It's probably going to be him, Gene.
Okay, so why can't you project him winning 2 MVPs next 4 years?
Because we see how the NBA does. Once you start winning so much, we've seen how they did it. They did the same thing against LeBron when he was in Cleveland. Even though we all knew LeBron should have been the MVP, but it's we're tired of giving.
So how many MVPs LeBron have? Do you know?
It don't matter.
Okay, so my question would be, what would Jokic have to do to finish his career as good or better than Kareem? He just can't do it because he's not a Laker?
No.
Oh, I know what he'd have to do. He can finish his career in LA. That's it. And then he'd be the coach.
No, Gene. What I'm saying is, if Kareem would have played for Detroit, I would have been saying the same thing, brother. All I'm saying is that we try to put guys in these categories. We try to move guys up on the list. And we don't even give them a chance to prove it. I mean, one championship, okay, that's cool. You won a championship.
What are projections for, Freddie? Why do people project?
Well, his projection is wrong, in my opinion.
Well, it can't be wrong. It could be wrong at the end of his career. His opinion can't be wrong right now.
Well, it will be. It is in his career. I mean, I project Jokic probably win another championship in his career, maybe another one.
Okay.
But honestly, if you ask yourself in the next 5 years, do you really believe the Nuggets will win another championship?
Yes.
I don't see it.
They have a perfect core, man. The whole team's built around them. And they have a top 5 coach in the NBA.
So let me ask you a question.
And they're young.
If the Boston Celtics would have met the Denver Nuggets in the finals, who do you have winning that?
Denver.
If you're the Milwaukee Bucks, who do you have winning?
Denver. It's not close.
Come on, Gene.
That Milwaukee's got 1.5 good players.
Gene, we know they're going to the Milwaukee Bucks is going to retool. They're going to get somebody, another star. Chris Middleton will not be back on the Milwaukee Bucks next year. You can guarantee.
It's probably good for Milwaukee.
It is good.
So their second best player right now is Drew Holiday.
Yes.
Nothing against Drew Holiday. Great defensive point guard. Probably the best defensive point guard in the game. But like, are we being serious right now? You're taking Drew Holiday and Giannis over Jokic and Jamal Murray?
Yes.
I'm not.
100% sure.
I'm not.
You know why? Because guess what? Giannis is going to actually play better than Jokic. Giannis is the better player out of two.
And I'm not saying he won't. I'm not saying he won't. Giannis, in my opinion, is the best player in the world. And if I was building around one player, I'd build around Giannis. Jokic would be second. I'm not saying he won't. But I'm just saying the team that's built around Denver's better. Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, Jamal Murray. KCP.
But you also have to remember, though, Gene, Jamal Murray isn't going to have his way against Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is going to lock him up. He's going to play defense.
Are we doing a hypothetical matchup between Milwaukee and Denver right now, bro?
I mean, we can.
I mean, if you wanted to do that, it's laughable. It is really laughable. You think Brooke? What do you think? What do you think Jokic would do to Brook Lopez?
I mean, there's nobody in the NBA is going to stop Jokic. Okay. Let's just be honest.
So who do you think the perfect person in the entire league to guard Giannis is? Perfect player. If you could develop the perfect player to guard Giannis, who would it be? His name's Aaron Gordon. He's an athletic wing that's strong enough, quick enough to stay in front of him. He in this playoffs, he locked down Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and then in this series right here, he locked down Jimmy Butler. Playoffs.
Come on, Gene. That's not true.
It's not true?
No.
Coach, please. Coach, I need someone that's watched the NBA playoffs this year outside the Lakers.
Can I tell you why? Let me explain why it's not true. Ladies and gentlemen, Gene, you about to make me do this.
Here comes Freddie Fiction. Let's go.
No, you about to make me do this, and I really don't want to do this because, ladies and gentlemen, before I say this, the Lakers lost because they was not the better team. Denver was the better team, 100%. 100%. But let's not sit here and act like Aaron Gordon just shut down LeBron because LeBron wasn't playing on a bad foot. If LeBron was playing on a good foot. See, this is why I didn't want to go there. But if
Well, Fred, don't make no excuse. The man still played.
I'm not making
He's still
excuses.
out there.
I'm not making excuses. That's why I said that the Denver Nuggets was still the best team. They beat us 100% because they was the best team. But let's not sit here and act like that LeBron wasn't playing on a torn Achilles, whatever it's called, a torn tendon.
He did not have a torn Achilles, bro.
I'm trying to teach you, Gene. If he would have torn his tendon, it'd be right before his Achilles. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is insanity.
It's not, bro. It's the truth. What's up, everybody in the chat? What's up?
So wait, Aaron Gordon, when he locked down Kevin Durant, was no problem, right?
No.
And when he locked down Jimmy Butler, Michael Jordan's son, James Butler.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just believe Jimmy Butler was tired.
So Jimmy Butler was tired. LeBron James had a poor foot, but he scored 40 in Game 4. The other 3 games, he scored 20, shot terrible. But Game 4, he played incredible. But he was just, it was his foot. Kevin Durant wasn't there long enough. How long you want to disrespect him?
I didn't say nothing by Kevin Durant, brother. I'm not disrespecting the Aaron Gordon, but I mean, let's not just make it seem like he's just the best defender in the game today.
I mean, he's one of them.
I mean,
he is.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is the Denver Nuggets will not win another championship within the 5 years. That's all I'm saying. I don't see that.
Hold on, Fred. Let's find out how credible your opinion is. You think the Lakers will win a championship next 5?
Probably not.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure. You say that, I'll listen to your Denver Nuggets opinion.
And I'm not saying, and Denver's definitely going to be in the conversation for the next 5 years. They're definitely, when you talk about putting out a list of championship contending teams, they're going to be in the mix.
Okay.
But there's other great teams that's in the NBA that will win. We don't, like I said, we don't know what's going to happen with Damian Lillard. Let's say if he goes to the Philadelphia 76ers, okay, don't you think they're going to be a legit chance that they're going to win the championship?
They have a legit chance. I still don't think they're better than Denver.
I'll
tell you what. And here's something I'll say on air. And I'm a Philadelphia 76ers fan. I seen what Nikola Jokic did in the NBA Finals. I seen what Nikola Jokic did in a conference finals. I haven't seen what Joel Embiid will do in a conference finals. I seen what he did at the end of second round exits. So, no, I don't think just Damian Lillard makes the 76ers a championship team.
But, Gene, you do know what Damian Lillard will do when he gets to the post time. You do know what he would do, right? Okay,
he's incredible.
So, I mean, it don't matter what Joel Embiid's going to do. Hey, because in the crunch
time, Dame could do it by himself. Why didn't he do it in Portland?
No, I didn't say that. I said in the crunch time, Dame could like, damn, get out the way, give me the ball.
My guy, I feel like that you want to make an argument against Nikola Jokic, and that's fine.
I love Jokic. You know, as many times I've done a show with you, I've supported that guy. I love Jokic.
Okay. I didn't love him until this year, and I've given him his respect. I've wanted Joel Embiid to win that MVP for the last 3 years. He won it this year, and I can fully admit I was probably wrong.
And cool, I'll see you in the comments, sir. Let me just be 100%. Let me be 100% honest to you, sir. You know, when it comes to winning championships, when it comes to being in the finals, you do have to have some type of luck. Let's just be honest. You have to have luck.
You're calling it luck now? They had the best record in the NBA the whole year.
Oh, God. Here you go to Freddie Blasphemous right here. Oh, my God.
Listen. I'm just saying, if Chris Paul didn't get hurt, that changes things.
Can I ask you a question? How many games does the team have to win in a series?
4.
Okay. How many games did Denver lose this entire postseason?
Not many. What, 3?
4.
The
entire postseason.
But I'm just saying,
you gonna call that luck? Had the best record in the NBA the entire year, swept your Lakers, 4-1 to Miami, 4-2 KD and Devin Booker.
Gene, you want to go there? Let's go there. Let's talk about that Lakers series, brother. Every one of those games out of the 4 games that they beat us, why was every game close? Every single one of them was close.
So I didn't realize this was like Fast and the Furious. I thought if you won by an inch or a mile, winning was winning.
No, I'm just saying. Do you agree if LeBron had a healthy foot, things would have been different?
No, I don't at all.
No.
We've seen things that LeBron is not accustomed of doing in the playoffs. That changes things, bro. He was passive. He didn't want the ball in his hands at times. He was shooting like he was Steph Curry. I mean, though, that's not LeBron James. He wasn't driving down the lane as much. I mean, come on.
This is a conversation that went from Kareem and Jokic to the Lakers would have won instead of getting swept.
You're right. Let's go back to it. Coach Dante, do you believe when it's all said and done that Jokic will be better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna wait till his career said and done to determine.
Fair, and that's fair.
That's all I'm gonna say. I won't put him in that conversation as of right now.
And I agree with you. And I said, and I still didn't say he's going to be better than Kareem. I just don't think it's a blasphemous statement. I don't think it's a laughable statement. I agree with Coach.
I'm just saying, I'm not gonna get back into the other conversation because
Kyle's the best. If LeBron was 25 and had D Wade in his prime, the Lakers would have beat the Nuggets.
Gene, you're missing.
I love it.
You're missing my point, brother.
LeBron had a better foot. We didn't get swept. We would have won.
I mean, that's the truth.
No, it's not.
And if D'Angelo Russell could knock down a shot, I mean,
if the queen had balls, she'd be the king.
Next topic. So, since the Miami Heat did lose in 5 games in NBA Finals to the Denver Nuggets, where would you like to see? What would be the next move the Miami Heat need to make to guarantee them winning the championship?
The answer is Dame time. It's Dame time. That's what they need. They need Dame time. And that's a perfect fit. Jimmy Butler was working out in the gym today, shooting, yelling Dame time, pointing at his watch. Pat Riley's already said he's going star hunting this offseason. Dame time. That's what they need. And I'll tell you right now, if you put Damian Lillard in a room with Pat Riley, Damian Lillard will want to go to Miami. It's a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit. Fits like a glove.
All right, Coach.
One thing about Pat Riley, if Pat Riley, if a star come up in consideration, you better believe Pat Riley's going to be a part of that discussion. His name going to always be a part of that discussion. And Dame time will be a night. I would love Dame time to go somewhere like that, and that a part of that culture with Jimmy Butler, Bam, and the rest of those guys. I would love him to be a part of that. And he's already proven himself in the playoffs. Of course, I don't gotta bring up that series about the Houston Rockets when he broke out back with that 3. Then you go back to the 3, incredible 3. That signature 3 against Paul George right in his face. But not at that. This man been carrying this team for years, for a whole decade, even went taking them to a Western Conference Finals until they finally figured out that CJ McCollum and Dame wasn't going to get it done together. But other than that, I think Dame time in Miami, I think that would be an awesome fit. They do need a point guard. They do need someone else that can score the ball and take a lot of pressure off Jimmy Butler so he won't get tired during a playoff stretch or fatigue. Dame will be a nice option at the point guard position.
I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm going to just say something different because y'all have already said Damian Lillard. I'm going to go in a different area. I'm going to go somewhere that the media's not going. I'm going to go Chris Paul. You need a guy.
You said that too.
Huh?
I said Chris Paul too. I did say Chris Paul too.
Yeah.
Throughout the week.
I think Chris Paul would be a great option. The reason why I say that is because you're talking about a guy that can help run the offense. That way Jimmy Butler don't have to have the ball in his hands 100% of the time. You're talking about a guy that can run the pick and roll with Bam, that make shots much easier than Bam. Then they have shooting around him. He's going to make sure those guys get the ball and knock down shots. And let's not act like Chris Paul's not deadly especially when it comes to the mid range. A lot of folks call him the point guard. I mean, I don't, but a lot of folks do. But I think Chris Paul would fit, with that Miami Heat culture. He's a dog. And Pat Riley, we know his mindset. Jimmy Butler, Spoelstra, that's a dog mindset team, and I think
Yeah,
CP3.
five years ago, you'd have a point.
Yeah, but I still think CP3 because you going in a situation where he don't have to be the man. We all know that's Jimmy, but he's just there to make the job a lot easier for Jimmy.
Yeah, and his hamstrings are made of jello.
Well,
I love Chris Paul. Don't make me argue against Chris Paul. He's one of my favorite. I call him the point god. I think he's a great facilitator of the offense. But like you already have Kyle Lowry. You already have an aging point guard that shouldn't be in the NBA anymore. Like Chris Paul should retire. You know where Chris Paul should be next year? TNT. Sitting next to Chuck and Shaq. That's where he should be. Chris Paul should retire. I love Chris Paul. Great career. Come on. Are we really thinking Chris Paul is going to be the piece that gets Miami over the table? Come on. Get out of here.
And I also think they need more size as well.
So they need Chris Paul?
No. Yes, he's a part of it. You add Chris Paul.
He's not size.
I'm just saying as your point guard. You bring him in the point guard, then you bring in size and your forwards. But I believe that he'll be a better fit there than a guy like Russell Westbrook.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying. And are we sure? I mean, they got to think of something outside of Dame because are we sure Dame is 100% one out of Portland? I'm just saying.
I think he does.
I mean, we've seen this before.
They said they will move him. They won't move him right. They won't move him right now. But I still think they find a way to move him without during the middle of the off season. I think they find a way to move him. They saying they're not coming out saying they're not going to move right now. But I think this is the year he might finally be moved, depending on if they draft Scoop Henderson, the guard from the G League Ignite. And Dame already came out and voiced his frustration. If they draft him, then they may end up moving on with a backcourt of Anthony Simons and Scoot Henderson as their young backcourt. It just
all right. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to get on here to show my face, to get back into swings of things, knock off the rust a little bit. And just
you should have let me know you wanted to knock off the rust. I would have came on your second show when you were ready. I didn't want to do that to you tonight, Freddie.
I didn't. I don't think I lost Gene. I really
Stop.
don't. I really don't. I mean, you just said a lot of wild things. I mean, we agree on that, but I mean, when I speak facts, then it sounds like excuses to a lot of people. So sometimes folks can't handle my facts.
They changed it to Freddie Fiction, bro. You didn't see the title?
No, I didn't see that. I must be dyslexic or something. But man, it's always love when Gene can come on the show. So Gene, much love to you, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy task because I mean, you my brother, you're moving. You're moving, and you took time to come on here. I appreciate that.
I love you, brother. I love you.
Hey, cool. I see you in the comments. I gotta get you on the next episode of Freddie Facts. So be looking for that invite because it looks like you've been kind of hanging a little loose a lot lately. Nobody been putting you in check, but I'm back to do that, and you'll be on the next episode. And Coach, the hardest working man, always doing the play-by-plays, working hard. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming on here as well and bringing your insight. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach is going to be awake for the next couple of weeks. It's very big for his Houston Rockets. They have a lot of decisions to make down there. They just got their new head coach, and Ime Udoka. So we can definitely see Houston is turning their culture around, and I'm trying to get back into a competition in the Western Conference. But shout out to you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
And cool, I do want it. I don't run from nobody. You should know that, sir. I run from nobody. I want all the smoke. But most importantly, thanks to all the viewers. Thank everybody for blowing up the chat. Shout out to Dylan and the Notoriety Sports Network. He will be representing the Sports Empire Network. So tune in to him as well. But other than that, you guys, we're out of here. Until next time, we'll be back on in the morning on Coffee and Sports Morning Show. You can catch Coach Dante, Mo, and Christian, and whoever else join on the morning show. So tune in. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful night.